Thank you for joining me live from the grooming table. I am Amy Leigh, certified professional pet groomer since 2003, but it is absolutely my pleasure to share with you the secrets of the pet grooming industry so you can provide quality care for your beloved pets at home. And that's what we do every Monday at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. Here we are again, guys. I'm so glad to find you here. So, what are we doing today? Well, I just want to tell you first offhand, one of my goals here on my YouTube channel is to bring a new voice to the pet grooming industry. One that includes pet owners as a valuable consumer and not just professional pet groomers. And together we have been doing an awesome job of just that right here on Go Groomer together. So our topic tonight is groom your dog yourself at home. We've talked about this 100 times, right? Well, this is going to be a little bit different. In this video, I'm going to show you what tools you need to groom your dog, how to use them, where to get them, and why you may struggle to have a successful grooming session with your dog at home. So that's going to be quite informative, guys, right? So before we start talking tools, you must have a grooming table with a grooming arm to secure your grooming loop to. Having an additional grooming arm hitch is a must and a true professional secret as well. Properly having your dog on a grooming loop. There's a proper way to do this, and in doing so, it helps you ensure good behavior for your pet. It also helps your pet feel very secure on the grooming table so that you and your pet can do the job you need to do. Now, there is a second grooming hitch that I like to use that hooks to this little front hook. That's why you'll hear me talking here in this demo tonight about this specific grooming loop. It's called a Groomer's Helper grooming loop. And you'll see that little nut, that little attachment right there. Oh, this is Vader. Isn't he awesome? That is very important to have that little attachment under your dog's jaw. We use a second hitch on our grooming arm to keep him secured to the grooming arm and facing the right direction and not spinning around on the table. So, and it is training to teach your dog how to behave this way on the grooming table. And it's very important to do so. We have designed something that is going to go along with that paracord hitch that I like to use that is going to ensure safety for your dog. It's basically like a C-clamp that's going to clamp on top of the paracord grooming hitch to keep it, and you can adjust it and lock it into the bar so it does not slide up on your dog's neck. It's really cool. So that's coming for you guys. I'm going to be making them. I'm ordering these C-clamps. It doesn't take me long at all to make those grooming hitches. It's really going to be great. We're going to start giving them away because I want to put them in your hands. I want to see what you guys think of them. If you're a professional groomer, I really would like to get you one of these grooming hitches so that you can tell me your feelings on it and if you felt that it made your dog safer and more secure on the grooming table. That's the whole idea. But in talking about safe on the grooming table, it's very important that you have a grooming table. So tonight, guys, I am going to start right out of the gate with tools, the tools that you need to groom your dog and how to use them. That's the first thing I'm going to start with. And when I say the tools you need, you guys know in this shop there's probably 10,000 different tools, equipment, and product if you add it all up. Okay, that is not what you need to groom your dog at home. That's what I like to have as a professional. I like options, many options. You only need specific things to groom your dog at home. Or if you're just getting started in pet grooming, you only need specific things, not 10,000 things. You will acquire more as you go along. So I want to throw that out there right away, guys, that the first thing that you're going to need in all the discussion and all the things I'm going to show you and talk about tonight is going to be either a portable grooming table that is strong enough to hold the weight of your specific dog. So if you have a large dog, you're going to need a large grooming table. If you have a small dog, you can get away with a smaller medium table. I don't like to go any smaller than a medium grooming table because I like to have room to lay my tools on my table while I work and keep them away from my dog. Preferably, I say everybody should have a large grooming table. I use my very large grooming table for tiny Yorkies. I love having the workspace. So I would recommend always getting a large portable grooming table. If you want to step it up, you can spend about $250 and get a hydraulic grooming table. But the nice thing about portable tables, if you're working at home, is you can fold the legs up and store it away, and it's not in your room sitting out. It's not there all the time, so it won't be in your way. Now, part of that also is having the proper grooming loop. I have linked all this stuff that we're going to talk about today, guys, because I know everybody's going to be like, what was that called? Where would I get it? I've linked everything specifically in the description of this video so that you guys can go and check these items out. And you'll know what I'm talking about, You'll be able to see the prices. I'm going to explain to you the benefit and why you need them. And I'm only going to talk tonight about tools, products, and equipment that you need. That's it. I'm not going to talk about things that you don't need, okay? So, and before I get any further into this, I want to say I have a very wonderful diagram, kind of a PDF. It's a PDF that's linked in the description below that are my 11 steps to groom any dog. And what that means is they are 11 steps to groom any dog in order. So, and if you follow the grooming steps in order, you'll never forget a step, and it also will help you repetitiously remember the steps of the groom so you can become faster at grooming. As you first start grooming and you're grooming just your own dog or a couple dogs a day or a week, it's not repetition in your head yet, those steps. So I've made an 11 steps to grooming any dog diagram that's a free PDF for you to download and print out and have for your own, or you can view it on screen, whichever works best for you. All you do is click on it and it takes you to my Google Drive where you can download that for free and print it out, and it's very, very helpful. Now those 11 steps, if you have a short-haired dog, you'll skip the steps that don't apply to your dog, but many of them apply to every dog. So it does benefit everybody, even if your dog doesn't require a haircut. So we're ready to go, guys. Now, these I am listing all the tools in order, meaning the first tool is more essential than the last tool that I'll list, okay? So I really tried to lay this out here for you tonight properly, guys, in this live stream so that you can clearly understand the most important tools that you must have when you groom a dog and why, and what tools would be great, but you really don't have to, do that. You can just do A, B, and C and take care of most of your pet's grooming needs and keep them in healthy shape. That's the most important thing. So I have linked a portable grooming table. I have linked the Groomer's Helper in the description below before you get into seeing me list the tools. And that is the first thing I got to tell you guys. If you're having trouble working with your pets at home, it's because you do not have a grooming table, or it could be because you don't have a grooming table. You still could have a pet that needs training up there on that table. And don't give up on them. Don't give up on them. Okay? I know you guys won't. Our first tool is a slicker brush. Now remember I said I'm listing these tools in relevance in order as far as the most essential tool, meaning you can't groom a dog without this. And all the way down to tools that are wonderful, helpful, but you don't have to have them. So the most essential tools for grooming your dog are the first tools I'm talking about. They're in order. Yes, the first one is a slicker brush. We can't groom any dog without brushing them. None. So unless your dog is a short-haired shedding breed, in that case you'll need a boar bristle brush. That's what this is. All these are linked below so you guys can go see what I'm talking about. This is a boar bristle brush. I use it on my little Gus, who is a shedding bulldog. He's short-haired though, but this is wonderful for shedding him, and it actually stimulates natural oils in his coats. All products and tools are listed in order that I'm talking about them, guys, in the description of this video. This is essential. A slicker brush. is essential for removing dead, shedded, or unwanted hair from your dog's coat. This is very important. We must have a slicker brush. Yes, guys, there are many, many kinds of brushes. I know. If you had to just have one, I have linked a very affordable slicker brush in the description below, guys. That is very important. I've also linked this brush if you have a short-haired breed like a boxer or like I said, bulldog, you know, any breed like that, Boston Terrier, then the Boar bristle brush is great for you. Can't groom them without it, because if we don't remove that dead coat from the hair, you'll never be able to properly give them a haircut. In fact, you're not even doing them any good, because you really need to remove the dead hair. And that doesn't mean shedded hair. They may not be a shedding breed. That's okay. But all dogs will release hair and replenish hair, new hair, just like we do. I left my hair down for you guys since we're talking about hair, so you can see just how much hair I have. When I brush my hair out every day, I get globs of hair in my brush. Now, I'm not a shedding breed, but my hair does rejuvenate new hair. Same with our dogs. I just want you guys to understand that I'm trying to relate my hair to that. Okay, so the second most essential tool that we must have when we're grooming our dogs is a simple metal dog grooming comb. Use the dog grooming comb to assure that you have properly brushed all the dead hair from your dog's coat. Also, use the comb to assist you when scissor trimming your dog. In other words, to lift the hair up so you can scissor it, to pull the hair out. This is not your tool. Your comb is not the tool to take care of your dog's coat. It's a very, very important assistant to our brush, but you have to brush. You have to brush, guys. The tool tells us how well we've brushed. If you can glide a comb nicely through your dog's coat, then you did good with your brushing. If your comb is snagging in your dog's coat, then go back and brush some more. Then check it with your comb again. This is going to tell you if you did good. Also, when we're scissoring the eyebrows and the muzzle and stuff of our dog, we need a comb to pull that hair out. Never use your fingers to pull the hair out. You need a comb to pull it out perfectly and then show you what you need to scissor off. All right, so that's that. The next thing, now remember guys, these are in order as essentials. The next thing is ear cleaning solution and cleaning your dog's ear. Here we go. Okay, this is important to maintain good ear health. If you never clean the inside of your dog's ear, it can become very irritated and possibly lead to an infection. So I like to just I buy it by the gallon, and you can do that too, even if it's your dog or your 3 dogs at home that you're grooming. You will go through this. By the gallon, I believe it's like $34. I linked it below in a small size and the gallon. I put it in a mixing bottle and keep it here. It does not go bad because we don't add any water to this. It's ready to use. I like the Bark to Basics solution because it has witch hazel in it, which is very soothing if a dog does have some irritation in their ear because of a large amount of, oh my God, geez, I just lost my mind. I just saw one heck of a super chat from Janelle. Oh my gosh, Janelle, did you make a mistake? That's $50. Oh my God, Janelle, thank you so much. I know you appreciate this. I hope we're helping each other. I hope it's helping your dogs. Janelle has several dogs. I know she's a busy girl. Janelle, thank you. I appreciate that. Crazy girl. Now I'm all flustered. I use cotton balls to clean the ears of my dogs. What I like to do is I like to saturate that cotton ball. Hopefully I don't get this on my computer. But I saturate it. You see, I am really putting a lot of ear cleaner in there. In fact, see? I didn't put that on my computer. That's how much you want in the cotton ball. And what you do is you gently fold your dog's ear back. You start wiping around their ear and you start squeezing that so that that nice ear cleaning solution gets down in the nooks and crannies in your dog's ear. And then back up, because your dog's going to shake like crazy, and that's good. We want them to, because they're releasing debris that's down in that we can't get to with our cotton balls. So I only go in the ears as far as I can see. Okay, if I gently hold the ear back, if I can see it, I'm going to wipe it. If I can't see it, I'm not going any further, just to be safe. Okay, but by squeezing that down in there, you're putting that good cleansing solution, good safe cleansing solution down in that ear to clean all the stuff that we can't reach with our cotton ball. And then when they shake and that stuff surfaces, you take a clean cotton ball and wipe it out. And that's it. But it's very important. This will save you guys a lot of trips to the vet, especially if your dog is seeming to be prone to any ear infections. And some dogs are, whether it's a genetic thing or an allergy, that they're getting a lot of ear infections. Some dogs will go their whole life without an ear infection. They're all different. That's all. I just want you guys to know it. But whether they have nice, clean ears all the time or dirty ears all the time, I made that. I want you guys to know that you should be cleaning them routinely anyway. When I say routinely, I mean maybe once every 1 to 2 weeks. If your dog build up there, then maybe once a week, okay? Really, it is as needed, meaning if you see brown in there, it needs cleaned. Don't wait till it's really bad, okay? All right, so moving on to our next topic. This is a very important one. We cannot provide good grooming for our dogs without shampoo and conditioner. It's so important. Grooming, part of the groom, one of the most important parts of the groom is taking care of that skin, taking care of the coat. We replenish the coat by cleaning it and properly working it with techniques or brushing techniques so that the coat can protect the skin, because the skin is the largest organ in your dog's body, and it's all part of their grooming health, protecting their skin, because it can really throw off their whole system, guys. So you hear me say that a lot, but that's because it's important. So shampoo and conditioner, get your dog on a bathing schedule at home or with a professional groomer every 4 to 6 weeks. Trust me, whether you think they need it or not, every 4 to 6 weeks, a grooming schedule with a full brush out and bathing at home or with a groomer. They may not require a haircut or trimming, but the bath and the brush out is imperative to maintain healthy skin and coat, free of itchy, dry, or flaky skin. When the skin becomes itchy and flaky, this could lead to a skin allergy requiring attention from the vet. So, we can avoid that. We can avoid a lot of the skin allergy problems that we have with our dogs, guys, by keeping them brushed and bathed. And that's the honest truth. And I don't think it's being preached enough in our vets' offices. I don't know if they think that we're not capable of doing this. We're capable of doing anything for our babies, right? Give me a thumbs up. We are capable of taking care of our babies. We just need to know what to do. That's all. We don't want to see them suffering from skin allergies. So we're going to do everything we can to prevent that. And that's what we do here, guys. All right, so shampoo and conditioner. I've linked 2 very safe, affordable products that I've used for many years, so I can definitely recommend them to you guys for your pets at home, because I believe in the products. And they're linked in the description below if you're looking for a good shampoo and conditioner. I think a safe thing to do is to always try to go with a hypoallergenic shampoo. You just can't go wrong with it. It's safe. It's safe for puppies. It's safe for kittens. But it's also safe for dogs that may be sensitive. And sometimes we don't know that our dogs are sensitive until we use a product on them and we go, oh, wow, he's really reacting to that. Go with a hypoallergenic shampoo every time and you'll be safe. You can use a nice conditioner that smells good too, is very nourishing and has vitamins and stuff in it. That's what you want to do. Those are linked in the description below. So I'm going to move on to our number 5. Yes, we're at number 5. One of my favorite things to do, probably one of your least favorite things to do, is trim nails. I know you guys go, oh no, not the nails, not the nails. Okay, I get it. If you don't trim your dog's nails, they can break or snag and result in injury or even a trip to the vet. Major blood could be a factor here, guys. If you can't trim your dog's nails yourself, don't stress, stop stressing. Then schedule a standing appointment with your groomer or your vet, because they can. It's very important to keep them trimmed, guys. And I know that a lot of dogs are very active, and probably some of those dogs may not ever need their nails trimmed because they may jog with you or run with you on the pavement, and they may not be able to have their nails trimmed because they have that taken care of. That's wonderful. But that's not the case for the majority of the dogs, guys, okay? So it's very important to either you trim them. I have videos on my channel if you're not comfortable or you don't know how to do it and want to learn to do it. I do have a lot of good videos on my channel, at least 4 that I can think of, that go into great detail and bring you up close and personal how to trim your dog's nails. This is a Miller's Forge nail trimmer. It's very inexpensive. I've used many over my grooming career. This is my favorite. It's very gentle, it's lightweight, it's easy to use, and it doesn't make a popping sound, which dogs do not like when you're trimming their nails. It's the one that I've linked for you because it's the best one as far as I'm concerned. Don't worry about dremeling nails. If you guys are like, well, should I dremel? Don't even worry about dremeling your dog's nails. That's a whole different animal, and it's not easy. So don't even go there. Go with a nice, safe nail trimmer and get it done, or just go to the vet or the groomer. Make a standing appointment of every 4 to 6 weeks so you never forget to do it. And it's always taken care of. All right, so, hey, I got a little video I can run up here while I'm talking so much. Maybe it would be a little more fun to watch a video. All right, so let me run this up here for you. There you go. This is a Cavajon that I groomed. Most of you guys, because you're my peeps, you've seen this video. This is Charlie. Okay, so I'm going to talk some more here. If your dog breed requires a haircut, okay, that may not be each and every one of you out there that your breed requires a haircut. But if your dog does require a haircut, then you need a professional dog clipper designed to trim your dog's coat. There are many detachable blade clippers to choose from, ranging in price from $160 to $400. My favorite is the Waggz KM10, and I have it linked below. It can be hard to find. A lot of clippers can be hard to find, but they are restocked. I've been checking. I keep checking for you guys. If you only need to trim the pads of feet or sanitary areas of your dog, then you may consider a 5-in-1 clipper. I'll link that too. I have both. Now let me pop back up. Oh, I'm cleaning that dog's ears. Look at that. That's a hemostat. That's what we use to pluck ears. Now I want to show you, this is my Waggz KM10. This is a professional dog clipper. Now you may say, well, I'm not a professional dog clipper. I just groom my dog at home, so I don't need what Amy has. That's not correct. If you're going to groom your dog, you need a professional dog clipper. When I say that, I mean it's made to trim dogs professionally. So the clippers that we see on Amazon or maybe even at Walmart or other stores that are like $50 or $40, and they say, trim your pet. There's this beautiful looking dog on the front cover is trimmed up perfectly, you know, and you're like, wow, look at that. If it can do that, I want that, because I only have to trim one dog. Well, it's such a marketing, misleading misconception that that clipper can't do the job, first of all, safely. It's not safe. They're not even safe to use on your dogs because you'll end up clipping them too short and irritate their skin. So they should not even exist. I just think it's very misleading that improper tools are on the market marketed to pet owners. First of all, you're not even as experienced as a professional pet groomer. I could probably make a go with those clippers. I wouldn't like it, but I at least already know what blade settings are safe to use and what aren't. You guys don't even know that if you're a home groomer. You may not even know that. So the professional detachable blade clipper. When I say detachable blade, you see my blade drive right here, and this is a, got a hair on there, this is a professional detachable blade that goes on a detachable blade clipper. You simply set it on your blade drive, turn your clipper on, and just push it forward, and it's ready to go. Our blade's moving. When it's time to change, you hit the release, push it forward, and slide it right off. It's very simple, but this isn't the only clipper that you can use, guys. But you need to use a professional dog clipper that has detachable blades. It's very important. And I have videos on my channel that will explain to you all about blades, clippers, snap-on cones, which we're going to talk about that here in a minute, and blades. But I want you guys to fully understand that you're being misled by what you see on the shelves at Walmart and even some of like PetSmarts. PetSmart will have the two-speed professional dog clippers, but they'll also have the cheapy models that claim to do the same job. They do not. They can't, and they're not safe. That's why I want you guys to know this. So you're getting the lowdown, you know, and I'm so glad you're tuning in. All 101 of you. Oh, my goodness. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming. So I hope I'm giving you the goods. All right, so I also mentioned a 5-in-1 clipper. Why would you want, can you trim your whole dog with this? Well, why should I get that one when this one is 180 and that one is 200 or 220? Well, this clipper performs a little differently, okay? In order for it to do what this clipper does, this particular 5-in-1, this is a 4-in-1, I'm sorry. This particular one does have detachable blades like my clipper there. A 7, a 5, a 4, a 3. You can do that with this clipper. And then it also has its 4-in-1 blade. It's very quiet. What you would use this for, what the people that I would say should look for a 5-in-1, and I've linked two. I've linked the Arco, and I've linked this Kenchi Flash. This one's a little bit more. I really like this one. The Arco is okay. He's been around for a long time, but I prefer this one. Now, if you just need to trim around the corners of the eyes, your privates of your dogs, pads of feet, around the stomach, then a 4-in-1 or 5-in-1 clipper is your clipper. If you have a very small, tiny breed, you can get away with using this as long as you purchase separately the longer blades, okay? Because I don't trim any dog with anything shorter than a number 7 on the body, and that's short. That's a summer cut. Most people don't want to see their dogs in a summer cut. Some people never want to see a 7 on their dog. It's too short for them, and that's okay. So that's where the detachable blade clipper becomes the big guy. All right, so both types of clippers are linked below. I have every subject I'm talking about, guys. I have videos on my channel already going into detail about everything, all the brushes, all the tools, all the techniques. It's all there. You just got to surf through it. If you need to know, hey, how do I trim dog nails, put it in a comment after this is on the replay, and I'll send you a link to the video you need to watch. How do I brush my dog? Boom, I'll send you a link so you can learn these things, okay? Now, let's move forward. We talked about clippers. Now, number 8, of course, if we talk about clippers, that leads us straight into clipper blades, right? So, clipper blades for your clipper. Now, we're still talking about a detachable blade clipper when I'm talking about clipper blades. Now that you know that you must use a detachable blade clipper to trim your dog, to give your dog a haircut, this is a detachable blade clipper. You will also have to decide which blades you will need according to the length of coat that you desire. So there's different blades. Never trim the body or the legs of a dog any shorter than a 7 blade. If you want to leave about 1/4 of an inch of coat, you could choose a number 4 blade. Anything longer than a 4 blade, you'll need to purchase snap-on guard combs, which we're going to talk about in just a second. You'll need to purchase those snap-on guard combs to go over top of your 10 blade. So they work with a number 10 blade. They will work with a 15 and they will work with a 30, but I always tell you to use a 10 because after you take the snap-on comb off, you can use the 10 blade right away for your sanitary trimming because this is what's safe to use around the anus and the privates, only a number 10 blade. And I say that a lot because I want you guys to remember it. It's very important to me. It's very important to you. Okay, so I'll link the clipper blades and the wall stainless steel guard combs below. You can use any brand of detachable blade. This is your blade. You can use wall detachable blades. You can use Oster. You can use Andis. You can use Guide, Conair, as long as they're detachable blades. That's the blade that is meant to seat on this blade drive. That's what makes it a detachable blade. Just like that, okay? So you can use any brand of detachable blade with any model of detachable blade clipper. So any detachable blade clipper. Watch my clipper video. Oh, that was a good one. That's got a ton of views, so it's helped a lot of people. Watch my clipper video information on clippers and blades, and it will give you all the information that you need. So that's on my channel too, guys. Blade sizes, I really only purchase a 30, and I only use a 30 for the pads of the feet. That's it. I may use it to go under my guard combs, but I find that a 10 blade packs less than a 30. Maybe other people don't feel that way. That's okay. You can use a 30, a 15, or a 10 under your guard combs. A number 7, a number 5, and a number 4 blade. Those are the only blades that I purchase. That's it. The rest is all snap-on comb work. So I've linked the full set of snap-on combs in the description below too, guys, which is going to bring us to discuss a few things about our snap-on combs. So let me get back up here with you guys. First of all, I've shown you before, and I'm going to show you again how to attach a snap-on comb. Why would you want to use a snap-on comb? Well, as you can see, this particular one says it leaves 5/8 inch of length. You can see that, guys. So what that's saying is that if I want my dog's coat to be about 5/8 of an inch, which is a little bigger than a 1/2 of an inch, then I would choose this comb. And because there is no blade that leaves this much length of coat, that's why we must use guard combs. So you put your 10 blade, set it on there, just like that. Turn the clipper on. Oopsies. I didn't have it on there straight. And seat your blade in. The reason you turn your clipper on to do that is because the blade drive is moving. When the clipper and the clipper seat and the blade drive meet, it snaps it and locks it into place. So that's why. I will be getting to your questions, guys. Don't worry. So now we have our 10 blade on. Now we're going to attach our snap-on combs. You'll see these little hooks on the bottom. See that? Well, that's simply just to seat gently, see, right on your 10 blade. It's sitting there. Now I'm going to push forward, and you see this locked in right there. That's what you want. Same way to take it off, gently push forward and lift up, and you can take it off. But what this is going to do is now it turned your 10 blade into a 5/8 inch blade. That's the idea of snap-on combs. Now, if I'm going to trim the head of my dog, I would like that longer. I may go for this 3/4 inch snap-on comb. It leaves more length than my yellow one. Now, I just turned my 10 blade into a 3/4 inch blade. Does that make sense? You got to think, it's different than blades. They cut differently, but they're a lifesaver. They're a time saver, and it saves you from having to hand scissor your dog. So snap-on guard combs are very, very, very important part of pet grooming. All professional pet groomers use them, and you should too, because that's what's going to give you a good look. But you cannot use them on a coat that is not clean and brushed and dry. So that's important, and I have plenty of videos on my channel talking about that. One video in particular, I just stumbled across it today, and I was like, wow, that was a really good video. I forgot all about it. And it was a live stream, but it has like a 20-minute demo in it. And it's, what is the difference between clipper blades and snap-on combs? That's what it's called, I think. Boy, that was a good one. I didn't realize how good that video was. I had so much information in that live stream, as well as the demo, which was on a large Labradoodle. So that would be worthwhile for you guys to go back and watch too. So there's one more topic here for us to talk about as far as essentials for grooming. You guys can probably guess. Shears. Yes, they are essential. You can groom dogs without using scissors, but your dog will not be finished. Your dog will not look finished. This is how you finish the groom, is with shears. And we just got another super chat. Oh my goodness, from Beautiful and Blessed. Oh my gosh, love your videos. Thank you so much. You're so getting saluted. Wow. I'm so glad you love my videos. They're for you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Speaking of super chatting, we're going to talk about something after we're done talking about all this important tool stuff. I got something fun planned for us next week. All right, so let's get back to talking about shears so we can talk about other things. Dog grooming shears, there are many different types of shears. Dog grooming shears are used for completing your groom. Trimming the face, the head, the feet, the ears, the tail. You need shears to do so. Kenchi is one of my favorite shear manufacturers, but there are many wonderful shear manufacturers. And starting tomorrow, speaking of Kenchi, they're having a special for Christmas, and I think that goes on for 12 or 14 more days. They have incentives if you spend $99 or more, which most shears are going to cost you at least $99, so you'll get whatever their incentives are. I don't know if it's a free gift or something extra or a brush, but I just wanted to let you guys know that. So, and I have Kenchi linked below, some Kenchi shears, so that'll take you to their website. There is a Kenchi Love Set that is perfect for beginners or at home if you're a home groomer as well. So in that Love Set, you're going to get a blending shear. This is not the Love Set. You'll get a blending shear, a curved shear, and a straight shear. And those three shears are what you're going to need to do any type of finishing work on your dog. Now, I'm suggesting, if you can, and I want to mention, we brought up Christmas, guys. How many of you, your husbands, your boyfriends, your wives, your girlfriends, your moms, your sisters, your brothers, have said, what do you want for Christmas? And you go, oh, geez, I don't know. You don't need to get me anything. And they're like, well, I am. I love you. I'm getting you something. And it's like, wow, well, then I want to tell them something that I need. What do I need? Well, you know, we all need socks and underwears. You could say, I want this Kenchi brush. It's $30. And give them the link. And they'll be like, you really want that? And you'll be like, yeah, I do. I brush my dog every day. Can you imagine how wonderful it would be to use a good brush? You know, or I want this Leigh Push brush really, really bad. It's $65. Well, that's what I want. I want this Kenchi Flash. It's $180. If you want something for Christmas and people are asking you what to get, tell them what you want. Because this is going to not only make your life easier, it's going to make you so proud of the work you do on your dog, or if you're a professional groomer. So don't forget, Christmas is the perfect time to ask for those things that you really want. And I know if you guys are anything like me, if I got a pair of shears for Christmas, I would be like, that's awesome! All right, so we're all showing we're all showing our groomer nerdiness, but we are groomer nerdy. That's just the way we are. Okay, another thing I promised I would talk to you guys about real quick, and I want to take this. Oh, I can't get it. Okay, let me take this off quick. I want to show you something. Bear with me. Remember I talked about we have Vader here, and when he's hooked to his grooming table, you know. So we're trying to get good behavior out of our dogs. A lot of people struggle to, you know, have their dog work with them when they're trying to groom. It's a real struggle. The struggle is real. So if you struggle to groom your dog at home, I've linked a video below that can help you, for one thing. And it's going to talk about how to properly secure your dog on the grooming table, and the fact that you need a grooming arm, you need a table, or a table like something that's like a table, and you can just buy a grooming arm. You also need a hitch to hitch them to the grooming arm so they can't turn around on your table. And it keeps them facing this way. That's what you want. Well, this is part of a groomer's helper that I bought years ago. And it's really everything's broke on it already. But it's still a clamp. So I was thinking the other day, I was thinking about something. I watched a video of a groom gone wrong where a dog was improperly leashed on their table. And it was very disturbing. And so I thought, well, how could you keep that really from happening in that situation? Well, if you're going to hook leash, or I like to make these paracord hitches that are only about this big. If you're going to hook that to the bottom part of your groomer helper on your dog's loop and clamp this, make this adjust to fit your grooming arm on top of where you've wrapped around that paracord grooming hitch, you can simply move this and tighten it, move it and tighten it, and move that up and down to fit different dog heights. If you're just grooming at home, it's easy. You're not going to be moving it a lot, but it will keep it in place and not allow it to slide up and start pulling on your dog's trachea. That's the important thing. There's more to come about this, guys. I had this breakthrough, mind-blown thing in my head today, and I'm like, I can do that. I can make that. I can give it to my viewers. I can see how they like it. Okay, so that's where we're at. We're coming. We're coming there. We're coming with it. Hang in there. Just not today. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, because I just love to make it easier for you and your pets. It's very important, though, that you have a safe, secure setup when grooming your dog at home. You must have at least a portable grooming table in order to achieve successful grooming sessions with your dog, even if that means a lot of brushing that you're going to be doing with your dog. Like say a big golden doodle, he requires a lot of brushing, or a bearded collie, or a collie, or whatever. These dogs require a lot of grooming. It's much easier to have them up on a grooming table and work with them as long as they're safely secured there. So that's why I always suggest that. Now, let me jump in and start answering some of your questions before they get away from me. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up. I saw there were several. I know I kind of said a lot quickly, but you guys, if you can always rewatch on the replay. If you're not sure when I was talking about something, you're like, what did she say about those guard combs? You can always go back and watch. That's why our videos are always back on the replay. So I'm just scrolling, looking for a line. If you have a question, put a line in front of it so I can see your question. The first one I see is Bob. Says, was that Groomer's Helper loop? Yes. That was a Groomer's Helper grooming loop. Actually, that's a knockoff version of a Groomer's Helper. There is an actual Groomer's Helper grooming loop, and you can get that from groomershelper.com. I've always used them for, I can't even remember how long. And since they came out, I've used the Groomer's Helper grooming loops because I could see the value in them. And that's why I tell you guys about them. By having them hooked here and pulling away from the trachea is very, very beneficial for your dog, but it also keeps them where they need to be. I've linked it in the description, Bob, the Groomer's Helper, if anybody is needing to know. Yeah, Elsie was great Saturday. Oh, it was a private for our members. If you're members of my channel, if you're not, you can click on the join button and become a member. But we try to get together and discuss some really hot topics and on a smaller scale because it's just with my members. So Elsie joined us, who is very, very knowledgeable with shears. And we were on for over 2 hours talking about shears, and I could have gone all day. It's just, we were just learning and absorbing so much. And Elsie was showing us all the differences between, she has like 30 or more pairs of shears. But anyway, guys, it is very valuable if you are a member. I'm going to try to always make that worth it for you, okay? Just scrolling for questions here, and I see Melissa says, I'll take one and try it. Thank you, Melissa. I will love to send you one. And it's going to be very easy for me to make. Raquel is the one making our tub leashes that are safe. And I have linked her information in the description below, guys. If you need a tub leash like you'll see me using in all my videos, Raquel makes them. She does a fabulous job. She's shipping them anywhere in the U.S. They come in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. So give her a PM message on our private Facebook group, and she'll hook you up with a tub leash. But yes, Melissa, you definitely would love for you to try my idea of keeping that hitch. It's getting sweaty down in here. Keeping that hitch where it needs to be. It keeps it safer. So I'll be in touch with you, no worry. And her sister Aya says, I'd like to try it too. Aya is learning to groom. Sure, Aya. I can send you one, and especially with all your doodles, I think you would find it very beneficial. So I will let you guys know when I have several of them made. They shouldn't take long. I just have to order the clamps, and I was not exactly ready to pull the trigger on that because I was surfing through today on Amazon. I want to kind of buy, like 10 of them in a shot. And sometimes you can't tell if this stuff is any good. And I'm like, well, I need it to be solid, So I may just have to go to a hardware store and take hubby because he's a good judge of character on if hardware is good or not. So I'll definitely have to figure it out. And I'm still scrolling for questions. I hope I don't miss any of you. I saw a couple different lines. There's Raquel. Raquel says, make sure to put a line in front of your question. Well, thanks, Raquel. I'm so glad for your help always in our chats. I'm so glad all of you are here. We are so good together. And SL Vale says, Arlo fights the slicker brush more than the comb. I hear that a lot. I mainly use this flea comb than a regular comb. Is that bad? She says. And I understand that you're like, oh, he doesn't like it, so I got to figure out what to do that he will tolerate it. The comb is just not enough, guys, because the brush, the slicker brush, not only easily pulls out dead hair, but it stimulates blood flow to the skin a lot differently than our combs do. You can get away with just using a comb, and maybe wetting the coat. But I don't recommend skipping out on that slicker brush. I recommend finding a slicker brush that fits your dog's size and continue working with your dog and training him to learn to accept the slicker brush. Try to figure out some way to make it okay because the slicker brush is very beneficial. That's why I listed it as the first essential tool for grooming your dog at home. Is a slicker brush. Okay, so I know some dogs don't like it, and I will be honest with you guys, I have a lot of clients that tell me the same thing. Just don't use those prickly brushes, the ones with all the pins on her. She doesn't like it. And I'll say, well, I highly believe in the slicker brushes, and I'm going to try it and see how it goes. And if it doesn't go well, I'll move on to another tool, but I really would prefer to use a slicker brush on her. And then I'll get the dog up on the table and find that it was all just about the dog not wanting to work for mom, because the dog worked for me just fine and didn't act like it bothered him at all. And it stands still, doesn't look discomforted, So I think a lot of it is dogs just say, no, I don't want you to do that, or maybe they don't like the particular brush, or maybe it's your brushing technique. So just rethink your technique. Try to find a way to make it work for your dog, okay? Very important. Janelle says, that was my Christmas gift for you. Janelle, that was very generous. And I know you love me, girl. I love you too. But that was a big one. Thank you very much. And I will have a Merry Christmas. I had a wonderful year, and a lot of that had to do with you guys too, because COVID really tried to make this year nothing. But my year was still very special to me because of you guys and because of my family. That's the only thing that got me through this year. And my health, I will say that. So, just looking for your questions, and then we can chit-chat for a few minutes. I'm going to tell you a few things at the end of this that I can't wait to tell you. Helen says, Amy, can you send me a link to the video on blades? Yes, but Helen, I'm not sure where to send it to you until after the live stream. Please put a comment on either this video or another video so I know where to send it to you. I don't need your email address. I can't send it in the live stream, the link to the video on blades. I have a very good little series that was, and I think you guys should watch it together. It was clippers, blades, and snap-on combs, because they all go together. You can't use one without the other, and I really want you to watch all three of those videos, and I believe it's in a playlist. So, Helen, just put a comment in this video, because maybe others will want to go back and look for it, and I will link it there. Or maybe after this video is live, I'll go and pin it in the top of this video, the playlist for that. It's very beneficial, guys, and I want you to watch those videos. They were very helpful. And I put a lot into them to try to make sure that I answered your questions and made it understandable, you know. Lisa says, will you demonstrate a Welsh Terrier someday? I would love to. Can you bring me one? I don't have any to groom. Thanks for going over these supplies again. I groom at home because it's so hard to find a groomer that knows how to do them. I know, boy, it's a beautiful breed too. I would love to groom a Welsh Terrier. Absolutely. Rosie just became a member. That's awesome. That means the next time we get together, you're in, Rosie. And listen, I also record our Zoom sessions now, because I know we can't all be able to be available at the same times when I Zoom for my members. So I also put it out there after the fact and just post a link on the community tab that only members will see. So you can still watch the members group chats, our Zoom sessions, private Zoom sessions, on a replay if you're a member. So we'll definitely get you going with that, honey. You're going to love it. We share some awesome stuff. Lisa says, can you demonstrate scissor skills sometime? I'm not good at them. Yes, I did. Oh, that's what Elsie and I just talked about for 2 hours on Saturday. Lisa, are you a member? Because if you are, that's linked on my community tab. Elsie and my scissor demo. It was really good. But I also did one a couple weeks ago, guys. I did a video on different types of scissors. And in one of my Asian fusion videos, there were 3, I go over how to properly hold your shear, how to use it, how to maneuver it, how to decide if your shear is right for you. So you just have to go back and look for a few videos. But I will do upcoming videos, guys. I always am doing videos on how to do things. So we'll hopefully touch on everything that we need to sometime before I'm too old to do this YouTube stuff anymore. Brandy says, Amy, do you prefer different size blades or a snap-on comb? Yeah, that depends on what I'm doing. The largest blade that I like to use is a 4. And that doesn't leave a lot of coat. As you can see, it only leaves this much coat. So, oh, Rosie just became a member? Who did that? Oh, Katsumi did. Awesome. So you guys can go check my community tab and see what Elsie and I did this weekend, because it's up there. So number 4 is the longest blade I'll use before I will go to a guard comb. And as you can see, this is a number 4 guard comb. It's pretty much equivalent to a 4 blade. This is the amount of length it'll leave. but I feel like the 4-blade is just a tad bit shorter. So anything larger than a 4, I switch on over to the guard combs. That's just my rule of thumb, and it's always worked for me. So hopefully that helps you, Brandy. Just looking for more questions here. Stella says, do you think I can groom a doodle successfully if I purchase a detachable blade clipper that comes with a 10 blade and wall metal snap-on combs and maybe a straight shear? Straight shear, 10 blade, clipper, snap-on combs, yes. That's all you need to groom a golden doodle or any doodle. Absolutely. Oh, we just got another member. Catherine, thank you. Good deal. You guys have to go and watch that video that is up there for members only. It's on my community page. You can only see it if you're a member. So, yes, the question from Stella was, do you think I can groom my doodle successfully if I purchase only a detachable blade clipper, which is, you know, like my clipper, or an Andis 2-speed or whatever, that comes with a 10, because they do. So you already have the 10 blade that's for your sanitary trimming, and you can use that 10 blades in the pads of the feet. You can use that 10 blades around the anus and around the corner of the eyes and the earlobes, and the rest you can use your snap-on combs. Absolutely, as long as the dog is properly prepared. Yes, Stella, you can use that. Go watch my video on the difference between clippers and snap-on combs, because I'm actually showing you how to use them on a golden doodle. That was a good one. Brandy says, Amy, do you use to sharpen your blades? Who do I use to sharpen my blades? I don't send my clipper blades to be sharpened. I take really good care of them, and they usually last me sometimes, and as a professional, a year. That's a long time to get out of a clipper blade. But I take very good care of them, keep them clean and oiled. When they're done, I throw them away and buy a new one for 27 bucks, 25 bucks, whatever I can, you know, whatever I get. And the reason for that is because it costs me money to send them out and ship them out. It costs me money to have them sharpened. Sometimes I'm not happy with the way they feel when they get back to me. So I'm like, well, I just spent another $15 just to get the darn thing sharpened, and I'm not happy with it. I should have just spent $25 and bought a brand new one that has that factory edge on it. However, my shears is a different story. I am very much so loving the Kenchi sharpening service for shears. And they sharpen blades too. So that would be one I could recommend to you. I think Brandy asked that. Yes, is Kenchi. They do a wonderful job. You can download their form on their website that tells you how to submit your shears and how to submit your payment. And it's seamless, and they do a fantastic job. Very pleased with them. Okay, let's see any more questions, because I have a few things to tell you guys. What size blade would you use on a severely matted dog? Okay, EM says that. On a severely matted dog, I try to use a 7, and the reason I like to use a 7 instead of a 10, if I have to go to a 10 blade, my 10 blades on there. If I have to go to a 10 blade, I will. But I like to try to get everything with a 7, because the 7 blade has a little bit of teeth, which means they'll kind of push through between the mat and the skin, whereas a 10 does, the teeth are closer together. You can see that. This is what makes a 7 blade dangerous around private areas, is the teeth are further apart. The 10 blade has the teeth closer together, which means they kind of don't want to get between the mat and the skin unless you apply the right amount of pressure. So I tend to try to always go with my 7. If I can't get through it with a 7, I will go to a 10 and have to kind of use a little bit of a different technique to wiggle my way in there under the mat. But yes, 7 blade or a 10 blade. And a 10 is really short. So I really try not to do that as much as possible. But that's a great question. All right, Carl says, how do you know when to get clipper blades sharpened? Oh, you'll know, Carl, when they don't work. And as long as you're keeping them brushed free of clippings, cleaned up and oiled before and after every use, And sometimes if you're doing a heavy clip down that requires a long time, you're going to have to clean and oil your blade several times through that one groom. But when your clipper won't, the clipper blade won't go, it stops, but you put another blade on and it goes through, your clipper blade is done. It's pretty obvious. And when they go dull, there's no warning. It's just like you're clipping, they're dull. That's it. And then they're dull. You either sharpen it or replace it. Ryan says, hi Amy, how's your Kenchi slicker brush holding up? How often would you recommend bathing your dog? I have a standard poodle, by the way. Love the breed. Love standard poodles. Standard poodle brushing every week. Bathing, unless you're keeping it in a pretty short haircut, I would bathe and brush together as well every 4 weeks for a standard poodle. A full groom about no more than every 6 weeks on a standard poodle, or it'll become too much work, too much coat to brush, bathe, and then trim. So 4 to 6 weeks for a standard poodle, but I would like to see them bathed every 4 weeks just to keep that coat real nice, and it helps to keep them from matting. And Daydream Shelty says, working at a self-wash pet station, she has a pet self-wash station is what she has. I see people using the slicker brush. Oh, somebody asked me if I like my Kenchi brush, how it's holding up. Holding up good. It's a little beat up. You can see the bristles are starting to get a little cattywampus. It's soon time to turn this into a tub brush and get a new slicker brush. And I bought it a year ago at the Hershey show in September, a year ago. So not bad for a professional to abuse it like that. I mean, back to Daydream Shelties. Working at a self-wash, I see people using slicker brush and they put too much pressure on it. So I usually recommend ones that have the covered tips. Yeah, for people who are not accustomed to brushing and don't realize there's a right and a wrong way and that you can cause clipper burn or brush burn to a dog just by brushing them, absolutely you want to say, hey, here, try this one, because brush burn is real and boy does it irritate their skin. Absolutely. And Joanna says, I am thinking about buying a small cordless clipper for my dog's feet, which is cool. They're under 12 number. I have difficulty with the larger clipper. Under 12, I'm not sure what that means, under 12 number, but if you have a difficulty with a large clipper, that's okay. Depending on how your coat is prepped and maintained, you will be able to get through it. I've clipped a Cocker Spaniel with this Kenchi Flash. I put my Schnauzer patterns on now with the Kenchi Flash with the 7 blade, and I love it. Yeah, you can use the 4-in-1 or 5-in-1 clippers to do full grooming, but you got to make sure that you've done your proper work on prepping that coat and bathing the dog. All right, Janelle says, quicker slicker is a lifesaver. Isn't it though? It's wonderful. And it saves your dog's coat too. And I bet you really like it on your Shepherd to help de-shed. Lori says, let me just scoot up here. Lori says, do you recommend the medium or the large size Kenchi and or Chris Christensen brush? I do some small poodle mixes and some large 100-pound. Okay, for your large breeds, always the large Kenchi. I use this even on Shelties. I use it on Golden Retrievers. I use it on even Cocker Spaniels. The large slicker Kenchi. I don't prefer Kenchi's small brush on a small dog, petite, like a Maltese or a Yorkie. Something small and very petite. This seems to me at that point to be aggressive, this brush. I prefer to use something like my Activet brush, the Mat Zapper, on those smaller breeds with the right amount of pressure on the brush. So hopefully that helps you out, Lori, answers your question. Helen says, thanks, Amy. The Facebook page would be a great place. Okay. Okay, for the video that you wanted. You wanted the clipper blades video, I believe, which I'm going to make you watch the clipper one and the clipper blades and the snap-on combs. Okay. Can you measure can you have measures of links for groomers light leases? I don't know what that means. I think it's a typo. Can you have measures of something for groomer table for arm to neck? I don't know. It's adjustable. Your grooming arm is adjustable to whatever size dog you have. So that's important to know that. Your grooming arm adjusts with a screw, and then you adjust it because it's always meant to fit the dog you're working on. So hopefully that helped you. That was Karen. All right. So Tiffany says, do you know if a Taro long pin slicker brush is comparable to the Chris Christensen Coral? I don't know that. I've never compared those two, Tiffany. So I can't give you a definite answer, and I don't want to give you a wrong answer. All right. Whoops, my chat just jumped up. Ashley Hoots is sporting that dog emoji. I'm loving that. All right, Carl says, my Shih Tzus have sensitive skin, so how do you get them used to slicker brush? You still just got to be gentle. It's always a good idea to, Brandy just became a member. That's awesome. It's always a good idea to mist a little warm water in the coat when you're brushing your dog, because wetting the coat a little bit makes the hair a little more pliable and gives it a little more elasticity. I also like to use Quicker Slicker and mist a little bit into the coat just to dampen the coat when I'm just doing my brush outs. It really helps you do your brush out. Believe me, it helps. Even just misting in warm water is better than just dry brushing your dog. You'll see the benefits. So try that, Carl, okay? I hope it will work for you. All right, let me just scroll through here for any questions. Blessed Mama 3 says, I love your videos. Thank you. You're welcome. Started grooming my miniature schnauzer during this pandemic. For the nail clippers, do they have a stopper or some sort of that the nail isn't cut too short? Yes, it does. The Miller's Forge has this. I don't usually use it. I move it out of the way like that, but you can put it up like that, and then that allows you to only cut this much of the nail off. If this wasn't there, you could cut more. Okay? So yes, the Miller's Forge has it. Most dog trimmer nail trimmers do, not all. But yes, it does have it, and I really like that one. It's very comfortable to use. Okay. So I think I'm caught up with questions. Now I want to tell you what we're going to do next week, guys. I cannot wait. So I was talking with Alex. There was a couple things that I was trying to put together. It's getting close to Christmas. You guys always are so helpful to me. And I know you really love dogs and you would love to do something. And I love dogs and love to do something. There's a couple of really good rescues around me locally. One specifically that I want to reach out to is a golden retriever rescue that's about 15-20 minutes from me. And I would really like to take them a donation from Go Groomer and her subscribers and take it to her facility, or his, or whoever owns it. Meet some of these dogs, obviously get that on film. I think that would be great. Talk with them about how their process goes with adopting, any information that I can think of to ask that would benefit you guys, and make a video out of my visiting them to deliver the cash and have a private meeting with them. I want to talk to them. And so next week, all our super chats. So if you want to donate, this is going to be a donate. And I'm going to look, there may be another way to donate differently. But at this point, I'm thinking super chat. Now, when you super chat, YouTube does get 30% of that, which that's okay. We're using their platform to get together for free. I can't complain. I know you guys appreciate having this opportunity too. So we thank YouTube for that, for sure. They can take 30%. But here's the thing. You guys super chat, whatever that tallies up to be, let's say we end up getting $200. Obviously, 30% will go to YouTube. I will cover that 30% back in. I will kick whatever 30% that, whatever YouTube's going to take, which is 30% of whatever we end up making. I'm going to kick it back in and bring it back up to where it was. And we're going to donate to that rescue. And I will get footage and meet the dogs and get that on film for you guys. Talk about, you know, I can offer grooming help, just, you know, grooming tips and anything. You know, so I would really like to do that. That's what we're going to do next week in our live stream. We're going to call it Dogmas. Okay? That's going to be our Dogmas event. Yes. So that's what I wanted to tell you about next week. And if you have any ideas or anything, you can always email me or put a comment. I see all of that in one of the videos, and we'll do something special. So I'll have all the details for you next week too. I'll figure out which rescue I'm going to be able to go to. I'd like to go somewhere that's a little more quaint. Like I'd really be able to talk to somebody, and you know, maybe it's not so crazy or something. But yeah, I think so. If you guys want to do something for Christmas, I'm going to show you. And I opened an LLC and Go Groomer, so I'll write the check from Go Groomer. That'll be my first check that I write from my Go Groomer account. That's fun. Okay, I'm better now. All right, so that's next week, guys, and we'll find ways to have fun with that. Okay, I think that would be great. Okay, so I think I have laid it all out there. Boy, I got all these tools laying here. It looks like I'm ready to go to work again. We just got another super chat. Was that from Beverly? Beverly, Greg. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Beverly. I appreciate it. You are so saluted. Thank you. We're so glad to have you back. You weren't around for a while. We're so glad to have you back. All right. So I'm going to let you guys go. I can't wait to see you next Monday. We are getting close to Christmas, so we're going to do our best to make it a good Christmas, whatever way we can, right? Because it's a little weird with all this COVID stuff. So I want you guys to have a great week, and I will talk to you next Monday, but I believe I'm going to have another video launching either Friday or Saturday. I'm hoping to. Okay? Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for being part of this community together as Go Groomers, and all the things that we share and help each other and help our friends with our dogs, and we've made a big difference. But more importantly, you guys are making the difference because you're doing the work. You know, like you're out there doing this. You're taking care of your dogs. You're helping other people. You're helping each other on the Facebook group and saying, hey, yeah, I did that. This is how I did it. This is the tools I used or whatever. It's wonderful. I will see you next week. You have a great weekend. I love you. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you all for being here. All over the world, we're getting together. Here's a subscriber showdown for you. I will see you next week.